Tom,
Yes.
are you ready to count us down?
If I can remember how to.
We'll just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
But your body language
Is
is
it bad?
pointing
My
away
body-
from me. But
It's because I'm kind of wedged into the corner of the chair. I don't really want to get
No.
too much like this because then I don't feel like I talk.
no,
but
you go back to
this-
where you were now.
No, I'm gonna change my.
Oh, you're
body
going to go.
language.
Okay, right.
Is that better?
That's good. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Do you enjoy being a pop star?
I enjoy many of the things about it. Yeah, especially nowadays. I found it very hard at the start. Suddenly, going from nothing, and suddenly then having hopes and fears come out and being shoved into this place that I was completely unready for. So it took me a while to adjust, but nowadays I really enjoy it. Yeah.
What did you think you would be when you were growing up?
Well, I always wanted to do what I do now, and right from the age of 4 or 5, there are tapes of me that I still got at home, of me singing really daft songs, and you can hear my mum in the background getting more and more annoyed. But I think I always had that kind of, that sort of itch, to want to be on stage, want to be performing, and I think I've always found that I express myself best through singing.
Were you classically trained?
Not really, no. I mean, I fell in love with Michael Jackson's music and with Queen's music, particularly as a kid. So I fell in love with that kind of very flamboyant style of singing, and those kind of, especially Freddie Mercury's kind of vocal acrobatics, and I just wanted to kind of emulate that as much as possible. So he had quite a sort of operatic sounding voice. I think that's probably where it mostly comes from. Although I did sing in school choirs and stuff, but I didn't enjoy that. All I really wanted to do was be playing songs with Tim.
Could you imagine ever being a solo artist?
Not really, because I think part of what makes Keane a great band is Tim's songs and my singing, and there's a unique kind of chemistry about that, and I think it would, it kind of like be losing a leg or something to not have those songs, and I would imagine, I hope that Tim feels the same. So I don't really envisage my life without Keane, but then again, you can't ever predict what's going to happen in the future.
So you don't know what you'll be doing in 20 years' time?
No.
Do you get nervous before concerts?
The smaller they are, the more nervous I get, weirdly enough. I think when you can really see everybody up close, and there's that, people, you feel like people are kind of staring you out. There's a great intensity to playing very small shows, whereas there's something about a kind of huge crowd that you almost feel slightly anonymous. I find I actually have to. I remember when we played at the Live 8 gig, and there were like 300,000 people in the park, and I actually felt quite sort of separated from the crowd. So I kind of had to focus on 1 or 2 people at the front, because that was the only way that I felt like I could connect with the crowd as a whole. It was a strange, sort of disarming experience, but yeah, so the smaller, the more nervous.
What instruments do you play?
Oh, I play lots of instruments very badly, basically. I love singing, and I guess I class that as an instrument. And that's the one I can play the best. But I'm very ham-fisted when it comes to playing anything else. I learned, my mum and dad forced me to play the flute when I was a kid, which I really hated and wished that I could have done something
you play the guitar.
different. But now, yeah, as I got older, I sold my flute in order to buy like guitars and keyboards and all sorts of stuff. And I can play all that stuff. And I'm proficient enough to get by.
Can you describe the feeling of singing? Does it give you joy?
Yes, absolutely. It's a visceral experience. I always think, well, my girlfriend, I sometimes, I'll catch her. I come home and she won't know I'm home, or I don't know, she'll be in the bath or something. She'll be singing away, and she hates the sound of her singing voice. Well, that's what she says anyway.
5 seconds to go.
But when I hear it, it's a joyful thing, and I think everybody should sing.
And that, Tom, is it.
Great.
We didn't get to lots of questions,
No.
but we talked about stuff in some detail.
That was a very fast 5 minutes. God, I must be incredibly long-winded.
Or interesting.
Without realising it.
Interesting. Very good to see you.
Cheers. Thanks, man.